Good morning, Mañana Nomas folks. I hope that you are doing well today. We are here with the Mañana Nomas morning check-in. Today is, it looks like November 10th. And so November 10th, it is Tuesday. And I went a little long yesterday. I went for, I think, 25 minutes with the morning message. Today, I'll try and make things a little more clear, a little more concise. I gave a shout out to a trainer named Dan. Did a really good job. He's with SAS, SAAS training, right? So Dan Martell, he sent me this book as part of a training program. Chris at Lifter LMS made that happen for me. And I wanted to let you know that I have signed, where is it? That's my identity statement. But before that is a commitment. So I have gone ahead and established myself a commitment to participate in this journal for at least the next 5 days, every day, morning and night. And it's meant to, like, what are your wins for the day? What are your losses for the day? What are your goals for the day? How can you focus on your day? And I think that this is going to be a really interesting tool to put forward on top of the Leader's Heart that I read. I try to read every day from John Maxwell. For me, having that positive influence, being able to set my mind straight before I begin the day is super, super, super important. It's too easy to get drugged back by something that's negative. And so front loading myself with positivity is something that I find really, really helps. I've had multiple people come to me in the last 30 or 60 days that have been like, oh my goodness, you still haven't got a full-time gig, right? So like being self-employed is unique, right? Because you might pick up this or that, right? But being full-time employed is nice. It's a good security blanket to have when you're married with kids. And so, I've been looking, right? I've been having interviews and talking to people, and things just haven't really worked out the way that I would like them to. And people say, oh my goodness, how are you managing? How are you doing this? How are you doing that? Well, those of you that stay plugged in on these calls, you kind of already know the answer. I stay engaged, right? I assign myself new projects. I do new marketing tasks. I, do more through Mañana No Mas, right? I accept new customers, new clients. I've accepted a few contracts here and there to try and build revenue and, diversity in action, right? And so for me, having that wide scope really helps my mental attitude to stay in check. Also, again, flooding myself with positive messaging really, really helps. I've seen people in very similar situations to myself, distraught, depressed, upset, and it's just not healthy. It's not, it's water under the bridge. Like every day that goes by has gone by. If I dwell on it as a failure, it's going to impede my ability to succeed the next day. Whereas if I look at it and go, what can I learn? Move forward. What can I learn? Move forward. Just today, I had an interview with a manager at a large company, and it was a second interview. And I know that the interview was going well. I know that they are interested. Dealing with my cost of living in California, I'm sure, is an obstacle for some employers, especially in this remote time, right? Because a lot of people can do these jobs remotely. And so why do they need to pay me, this much when they could pay somebody from Arizona this much, right? So there are obstacles, right? But it went well. And I know that my positivity shone through. And I know that when I was flexible in saying, yes, I need to make this much, but I also know that if I need to make this much, I need to bring this much more value to the package. Right. So if you require additional tasks or additional knowledge from me, please know that I'm also knowledgeable in, right. And then you go into anything, right. Yeah. Online membership and learning course building, formatting for print, curriculum development, technical writing. I said, so you want to hire me for this, but I'm actually qualified for this. And so when you think about the remuneration that's required to bring me to the team, know that you can also leverage me for these other skills and tasks, which I actually enjoy doing, right? So I like bringing the most to the table. I think that's a really fun thing to do. So in any case, I did want to reach out to you on that. Now, the other project that I've been bragging about and talking about and saying, oh, I can't wait till this thing goes live. Super, super stoked. Met with Power Partner yesterday. I may have said this in yesterday's thing, but here's the deal. We're going to do like a proof of concept in December. We're going to do a limited example of this in January. And if December and January go well, we're probably going to launch this thing in February. And so, like, how cool is that? People normally go, oh, well, this is going to take 18 to 24 months, and this is going to be 36 months, and this is going to be 48 months, and this is going to be another 12 months of development, and this is going to be. And what I did was I buckled down. I do what I tell my students to do. I tell people all the time, just buckle down, just focus, just put all that energy into something positive, right? If you're watching a ton of Netflix, what could you accomplish in those 5 hours a day? If you are stuck on YouTube, doing the recommended video loop, what could you do with that time? I say this all the time. I don't know crud about. I heard something like the Dodgers won the World Series or something, something like that, right? And I'm sitting here in California, and it came across, and I went, I didn't even know they're playing the World Series. My lack of knowledge in baseball, football, basketball enables me to take strides forward in other areas, whether it's reading these books that I got laying around or developing projects. And the more that I invest in myself and the more that I pour forth online with these projects, the better my portfolio gets. And whether it makes me a millionaire or not isn't the deal, right? It's, for me, I'm really enjoying learning and communicating and building these tools that others get to use. I think it's really cool stuff. And so I do that. I just keep going. So people would say, well, how did you cut down 2 years of development time into 2 months? Well, I just did it. I don't know how else to really phrase that. I mean, you watch those movies like How Facebook Was Made, or, look at the Steve Jobs, documentaries and things like that. And you'll realize that when people are passionate, when they want to develop something, when they want to build something, if the tools are available, you can accomplish a lot in a very small amount of time, but you got to be focused, right? And so a lot of that focus I talk about comes through the courses that are on the Mañana No Mas Academy, right? Whether it's, goal setting 365, the goal setting short course, embracing the process, which I offer for free on the Academy. How about the Mañana No Mas disciplined mind? If you can discipline yourself to have a goal, focus on the goal, focus on the milestones, and meet your deadlines, you will accomplish things that, formerly you thought impossible to do. I think back to when I was 70 pounds heavier, right? I used to be bigger. In fact, this shirt is a leftover from when I used to be bigger. When I put it on, it's all tucked in the back. It's kind of funny. So it looks good on Zoom, right? Because I had a Zoom meeting, but in the back, it's all bunched up. And when I was buttoning the shirt, I had the buttons out here in front of me just so I could pull the shirt tight and button it. And I was just giggling because I was like, man, I used to be this big. I used to be this huge. And the huge guy couldn't imagine, going back to, I used to think to myself, well, I used to bicycle over 100 miles in a day. And I would think as a fat guy, man, I'm never going to do that again. And now I bicycle 100 miles in a day. I can mountain bike like crazy, like a mountain goat, straight up the mountain behind my house, right? We are incredibly adaptable animals. Human beings are incredibly intelligent. We can make plans, we can build strategies, we can have goals, and we can pursue goals and attain them. And once I started to feel those wins, once I started to, drop the weight, go back to bicycling, fly to Italy and run a Spartan Super in Italy, for crying out loud, right? Once I accomplished that level of task, once I was doing that, it was like a drug. And I just wanted to share that drug with as many people as possible, right? And so, that's why we've got all those courses in the academy. That's why I make these messages every morning. That's why I work with the kids at church and the young adults group. Any chance I get of adding a positive message to folks and helping people grow, I'm in. And in fact, that's part of what I was meeting with that company about today. It was, how can I bring a positive message to people in power sports and help them grow? And we are really close to making that a reality. So I say it all the time. I love you guys. I hope this has been inspiring. I hope that I'm adding value to you. I really don't know because I don't get enough feedback either through the website or through these posts. But I hope that there's more than one or two of you that see them. And I hope that that value is something that you can implement and put to use. I hope that I can inspire you to become more, especially if you're a couch potato, because there's no reason to limit yourself. This world, this life has so much to